Hello again, I'm Jonathan Lopez from ClayAlchemist.com, and today I'm going to be sharing with you what exactly goes on around here in a single day to create a sculpture that you guys get to see on the internet. It's not an easy process, so I thought, hey, we might as well make a video uh, just so you can fully appreciate what goes on because it's pretty crazy how much gets done in a single day, from going from the sketch all the way to publishing it. I always started out going onto Google Images and finding expressions and body language that really fit my character. The most important thing is to draw out your ideas and make multiple versions of that idea because that's when you discover when things work and when things don't work. Uh, and keep a sketch pad with you all day because as you can see on the left, it's a really crude one. Then I get into more detailed and different poses that I was thinking of, and that's just so crucial. You gotta think through what you're going to be making before you make it. The very first thing that you need to make absolutely the strongest of your armature is your foot. So every day I make an armature, make a little loop, and then I put a nut and bolt into the bottom of the foot. Um, and that way it doesn't fall over, and I just use a simple hot glue and tin foil, and I just kind of wrap that up in order to keep a really good bond between the two. So as you can see, I'm just kind of sticking it through the table, and then I use the hot glue and just mend it together. And what you can't see here, I'm going to show you in a second. What you can't see in the video is that there is a leg bone and there's the backbone, and this is just a loop. So it just goes willy-nilly without this bar here, and basically I just loop a wire around it really tightly. I loop it all the way going up and into the torso. And that way, when I do make a bend to it, to the pose that I want it to, it stays. And I haven't had a sculpture really lean since I've started doing this. Another really tedious task is getting the clay to stick to those wire legs. It's incredibly difficult to just stick clay on, so I wind up melting it on most of the time. Yes, it puts out a little toxic fume, so I always have the window open a crack. But it's quite the task, and you don't want to bulk up the legs either, because if you bulk up the legs, then the top of the body is really heavy and the bottom legs aren't. So then you become really top heavy. So that's why I never bulk up the legs. And really, probably the most valuable lesson that you can get out of sculpting is that whenever you get to this halfway point, like right here, you're looking at your sculpture and you say to yourself, what the heck is this going to be? I mean, it doesn't look anything like the final product, and it's really annoying because you know what you want and it just never looks the right way. And it just comes with a lot of finessing and just sheer endurance of, it's just so testing, let's put it that way. And I don't know how many times I've looked at it and I said this is not working, but an hour later it really starts taking shape. Once you get those eyeballs in there and you get some color in the eyes and you start getting some expression in the face, that's when it starts to click. Really, one of my absolute favorite things to do is to add a little shine, to the coconut bras and to the maracas. I mean, it doesn't even look like clay anymore, and that's part of sculpting is to take the medium and make it into something completely different. It's no longer clay anymore. It's now a maraca, and that's the beauty of it. This is the coolest part about sculpting. You're done, and now it's time to share it. So, I mean, you can see that I've taken out the screw that was in the bottom, which is just surrounded with Instamorph clay. It's just a screw with Instamorph on it. And as you can see, there's just a hole in the bottom of the foot. And all I gotta do is bring it over to the table, and I have a character. I don't have clay in my hands. That's the cool thing about it. Because it's not just like any kind of photography. That's you're creating your subject is just it's so cool. So let me just show you what I do over here at my shooting table. In reality, it's really simple. I just set the tie down, and then I go up and I get the lighting just right so it's exposed properly for the character, and then I get the background just about a pure white, just so it's brightened out, and then combine it, and there's your finished picture. And it's just a whole lot of fun. And it really doesn't end there. You wind up having to white balance it. Like I just use a gray card, or else I just use the white background and I make sure the colors are correct. And I might boost the contrast in Photoshop. I do some really light editing out the scratches, or else where I discolor the clay from. Like if I touch something green and then I touch the very light ivory or tan, like flesh skin tone, it really shows up, and then you have to resculpt everything. So I usually remove that in Photoshop, but or with this character there was like a scratch along the hairline, and I'll remove that in Photoshop. But for the most part, like I do not reshape or anything like that. And I use Photoshop to add my watermark, you know. But aside from that, I don't cheat in Photoshop. Let's put it that way. And as for the 360 view, all it is just a piece of plexiglass. It's got 22 grooves in it, but I make like odd ticks on it whenever I do a sculpt. So then it turns out to be 44 pictures. So basically about 2 seconds worth of 24 frame per second animation, and then I just repeat it. But it's a really simple thing, and it helps people really get the feel of it, so they can see that I actually did sculpt it, 100% of the way. I didn't just do the front, which I used to do that, and I kind of looked down on it because when you don't sculpt the back, it's almost like it's missing a piece of it. It's like, you kind of, I don't know, you're missing a part of your character, and I know it's there, and then it comes out somehow, your attitude changes towards it. When you have a full sculpture, you respect it that much more, and that's why I share it in 360 to just prove that that is a full sculpture. And then we get to the real fun part where we got to go and upload pictures and videos. So then I post to Flickr. I get that on Flickr. And then I got to post it to my blog. That way all those viewers can see it. And then I got to post it to Facebook, for goodness sake, so all those people can see it. And finally, over to Twitter. Hey, look at that. There's Jimmy Wales. Holy crap. Look at that. He posted that. That's so cool. And of course, it goes to his portrait. That's kind of funny. And geez, even Peter Lord. I mean, this is so cool these days. Okay, and now I gotta post to Google Plus. Now that's out, and then I gotta post it up to YouTube. So we get our 360 view uploaded, and then we gotta upload the time lapse view. And once that's done, I gotta go over to the blog and I gotta post the 360 view, and then I gotta post the time lapse view. And geez, I think we're finally done. But wait, we're not done. I mean, what winds up happening is I get onto YouTube and I get onto Facebook, and then people are asking questions, and people they make good comments. I haven't had a single thumbs down. There was one person that thumbs down me, and it was due to the fact that I fell on my back and I hurt my back, and I said everyone should just thumbs down this video, and only one person really thumbs downed it, which was kind of funny. Then I thought about it. I was like, oh, I really shouldn't have said that. But yeah, it's quite a large amount of time. It's really complex, but in the end, it is worth it, and that's how it's done.